Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jill, otherwise known as the Enlightened Target, and this channel is devoted to narcissistic abuse awareness and recovery, parental alienation, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and anything and everything having to do with those three main topics. Today's topic is about covert narcissism. What are the top 7 behavioral displays that you are dealing with a covert narcissist? Covert narcissists are also sometimes called a shy narcissist or a passive-aggressive narcissist or a vulnerable narcissist. I like to call covert narcissists closet narcissists because they are much more hidden than an overt, big and bold overt narcissist. The covert's demeanor is going to be much more timid and concealed, but at the heart of who they are as a human being, they are the same. The main difference is that a covert narcissist lacks the aggressive and big and bold overt behaviors of an overt narcissist. Basically, they do in secret what the overt narcissist does out in the open, and they are famous for portraying themselves as a victim or a martyr. Before we get into their specific behaviors, I want to talk to you about your gut instincts and your intuition. You are going to hear me say this often, but the first sign of a toxic person or a narcissist is your gut instinct and your intuition about that person. I cannot emphasize this enough. Almost every victim of narcissistic abuse that I have ever known, and I have known a lot, and I'm including myself in this category, will tell you that they had this feeling about this person when they first met, this feeling of uneasiness or this feeling that just something isn't right about this person. Many times we can't even put our finger on exactly what this feeling, what it is about them that's off or wrong, but we just have this feeling. And when we get ourselves into trouble is when we talk ourselves out of that feeling. We might tell ourselves that that we're just being paranoid, or maybe that we're being stereotypical, or we're being way too judgmental and not giving this person a fair chance. And this is a mistake. It's incredibly important that people get in touch with their gut instinct and their intuition. That is really and truly, that's Mother Nature's internal radar and protection mechanism that we all have. And 99% of the time, your gut instinct is not wrong. So it's important for people to hear this, especially if you've been victimized by a narcissist. And this is one of the very first things I teach my coaching clients. You've got to get in touch with your gut instincts and your intuition, because if you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, then they have been actively trying to destroy your perceptions, your instincts, your judgments, and your intuition. And so many times they're successful at destroying them. So we've got to get back in touch with those feelings. When I learned this when I first started my healing journey, and I had other survivors teaching me this. At that time, I had been so far removed from these internal feelings that I didn't really know how to identify them, and the ones that I did, I didn't trust, or I needed continual validation from others to actually, tell me I was right about these feelings. So when I started my first year of healing, I made a commitment that I was going to listen to my gut instinct. I didn't necessarily trust it at that time, but I made a conscious decision that I was going to follow it. And let me tell you, I did not just dodge some bullets that first year. I dodged some nuclear bombs. I was targeted by 3 narcissists that year. And each time I met these people, I got this uneasy feeling about them. They were very charming. There wasn't necessarily anything about them specifically that I was like, ew, you're a bad guy. But I just had this uneasy feeling about them, and I listened to it. And I will tell you, I was so grateful that I did, because 2 of them turned out to be a narcissist and 1 turned out to be a sociopath. And the women that they targeted after me, these people caused tremendous problem in these women's lives. So I can tell you, these days, no one, and I do mean no one, could ever get me to not listen to my gut instinct. Okay, so here are my top 7 behaviors of a covert narcissist. Number 1, coverts are consumed with looking good and their image. They care deeply about their reputation. They want to be very well liked and very well respected. While, an overt narcissist really doesn't give a damn who they offend, nor will they apologize, the covert narcissist cares and will go to great, great lengths to cover up their bad behavior. They want to be viewed by others as, highly moral and respectable. They, of course, aren't moral or respectable, but they'll go to great lengths to portray themselves as if they are. They might, these people might be active in their church or members of different charities. They like to be associated with people or organizations that give the appearance that they are people of high values and ethics. The covert narcissist that I personally have the most experience with, who has an overt malignant narcissistic son, would never be upset with how deplorable and cruel, or abusive her son's behaviors was. Her one and only concern was that, what if someone saw him behaving like this? Or how will we manipulate the situation in order to get others believe that he hadn't actually done something that he, so terrible, so something that he was guilty of. The lengths they will go to cover up or hide the deplorable behaviors, seriously, it has no limit. They will smear other people, set them up to take the fall, whatever it takes to the covert to cover their tracks so their reputation isn't tarnished, or to take accountability, the accountability that they deserve, they will do. And they also don't feel shame or remorse like any other narcissist. They just don't want to be discovered, outed, or exposed for their behavior. Number 2, false humility. Many times they will behave in a self-deprecating way. They want to give the impression of humility, but what it really is disguised pride. So they'll bait you for compliments and approval-seeking, statements. Their motives are every bit as manipulative and self-centered as an overt narcissist, but their demeanor is the opposite. So many times they will behave as if they're very concerned about others, always asking questions about how they are and what, if anything, they can possibly do for them. However, they never really seem to be around to lend a helping hand when and if you need one. Many times they'll agree to do things and either not follow through, or be late, or forget or pretend there was no agreement. Also, this phony act as if they're concerned about you, many times it's just simply a disguise to learn as much information about you and as many of your vulnerabilities, so they can use these against you later. So they'll be the concern a lot of times is just fishing for information. Number 3, they pit people against each other. Coverts create drama and like to pit people against each other under the guise of concern a lot of times. They will drop seeds of information to someone about you with the intention of causing problems, knowing that it will cause problems, and escaping, wanting to escape any accountability for causing the drama. They'll do this many times by gossiping or spreading lies between either family members or in your social circle group. Both overt and covert narcissists bore very, very easily. They intentionally like to incite drama and chaos if for no other reason than their own entertainment. So holidays, birthdays, weddings, funerals, any event where they're not the center of attention is a breeding ground for either fake tears or arguments or fights. They gain narcissistic supply by masterminding the drama and the chaos without anybody else realizing who did it. They really do. They get an ego boost from doing this. They think that they're far smarter than other people, and they certainly think they are superior to others. So they feel that they are entitled to do exactly as they please, just like an overt narcissist was, but is. So they'll do all the nasty things that an overt narcissist will do. They'll just do it in secret or behind closed doors, but they're every bit as manipulative, as deceitful, and as conniving as an overt narcissist. Number 4, continual portrayals as the victim or the martyr. Endless guilt-provoking statements. They are always trying to make you feel indebted to them or feel sorry for them or pity them. They know that the more that they can get you to feel sympathy for them, the more they can manipulate and exploit you to get the things that they want. It's really as simple as that. And it's truly amazing how well and how quickly they manage to provoke feelings in others of either, obligation and duty are big ones. They're proficient at getting others to view them as the victim in most circumstances. They'll play the victim card a lot. So if there is someone in your life that is consistently portraying themselves as a victim and things never seem to get better for that person, this is a big red flag of a covert narcissist. Number 5, they communicate their displeasure by body language and tone of voice. Many times the covert narcissist won't explode into a narcissistic rage like most overt narcissists will. When an overt narcissist is displeased or angered, you're going to know it by overt, aggressive, or rageful behaviors. Covert narcissists don't become aggressive, but they are extremely good at getting their point across, loud and clear with their body language, facial expressions, or tone of voice. They will give you looks, or maybe they'll give you an eye roll that communicates very clearly that they're not happy. They're very good at communicating non-verbally. So they will also speak to others in kind of a superior or condescending or demeaning tone, as if, almost as if they're talking to a child. They may act aloof or disinterested or be dismissive or give gestures like they're bored, sighing or yawning really impolitely, things of that nature. So where the overt narcissist will verbalize his displeasure, the covert narcissist will use nonverbal cues and tone of voice to get across their anger and displeasure. Number 6, pathological envy. Behind their shy, timid demeanor, coverts seethe with envy. They cannot stand the success of others. So they may appear to congratulate and celebrate others, but underneath that facade is deep jealousy and envy. And while they won't, publicly try and take someone down that they are envious of, they certainly will work behind the scenes and behind closed doors to actively plot and plan someone's demise because of envy. They also do things like minimizing your accomplishments and attributing your success to things other than your true merits and hard work. For example, they might say things like, your success was a pure strike of good luck. Nothing more than good luck. They might do other things like sabotage important events, like interviews or a deadline that you have to meet by causing an argument or maybe depriving you of sleep the night before. But they're incredibly envious, and they'll do horrible things to see to it that you are stopped of gaining any success or never achieve that success to begin with. Number 7, they take things personally. They're sensitive. So while an overt narcissist will not really care, the covert narcissist does, and they feel extremely underappreciated or misunderstood. Coverts believe that they're special and they're special and unique, and they feel just incredibly unrecognized by the world for this specialness or uniqueness. So they're prone to feelings of neglect, and they're hypersensitive. They will usually behave as if they're moralistically superior, or they portray themselves as being exploited for all the wonderful things that they do. They, for the most part, consider others to be boring and ignorant. They can be very smug and judge other people, as inferior. A lot of coverts are prone to having depressed moods. They can get overwhelmed with feelings of being, unappreciated or, misunderstood, that they become very, very depressed. I have known some coverts who resort to suicide attempts in order to get the attention of others and get this, this recognition that they believe they're deserving of. So in closing, the name of the game with all narcissists is control. Overt narcissists will use things like demands or threats, fear, intimidation, things of that nature to control others. Covert narcissists use things like guilt, self-pity, victimhood, obligation, duty, those things to control other people. Overt narcissists are out in the open, loud and bold, and covert narcissists are shy, vulnerable, and portray themselves as a victim. Okay, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also please subscribe to my channel. I will be putting out at least 2 videos a week, and please, if you know anyone else who could benefit from seeing this video, please share it with them. It's how we'll kind of grow this channel. So, and please, if any one of you is struggling with issues of narcissistic abuse and feel that you might benefit from narcissistic abuse recovery coaching, please reach out to me. You can either visit my website with the link down below or send me an email. Many times getting the help and support from someone who has gone through this is a necessary step in healing.